This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Nowadays, policing plays an integral part of the modern society. It contributes to the enhanced security system, law enforcement, and interaction with the community. Policing is open to both seasoned officers and ordinary people who can promote safety as well. In this regard, this paper aims to discuss the three paramount policing models, including problem-oriented policing, community policing, and intelligence-led policing, resulting in the identification of the most beneficial approach. Problem-oriented policing. Problem-oriented policing might be referred to as a model that focuses on understanding the problem instead of resolving it from a short-term perspective. This model assumes a precise focus on the problem itself instead of concentrating on the crime. Let us take an example of prostitution when police officers arrest criminals and put them in jail. However, criminal rates related to this area did not decrease as the problem was not resolved. Instead of this, according to Gayadeen and Kappeler, problem-oriented policing tries to detect the cause of this crime. Interviewing criminals, neighborhood residents, and other interested parties is the best decision in the context of this model. In other words, the paramount goal of the mentioned model is to address the cause of the crime by changing the very way the police deal with it. It is also quite significant to point out the fact that problem-oriented policing takes into account all the responses and details. It also tends to engage other public agencies to analyze crime prevention. For instance, the National Crime Agency or local businesses might be used for collaborative work. Also, police officers following the problem-oriented model are expected to be fully committed to performing their work effectively. Community policing. In turn, community policing strives to create strong community relationships. Prioritizing the positive attitude of the population to the law enforcement agencies, this model presumes close interaction with the community. In particular, strong community ties appearing due to police efforts are an essential factor in crime prevention. The model is based on the fact that law-abiding citizens receive some extent of access to the process of policing. They get this right due to the active support of police in matters of policing. This model of policing might be considered an organizational strategy encouraging the residents of the community and police officers to work closely to resolve crime issues in a new way. The basis of the community policing model is that the solution to problems existing in modern society requires new approaches from both police and the population, along with other interested parties. In turn, satisfaction with police work leads to the increased quality of life and collective efficacy of people. As a result, one might note an increased level of societal engagement in ensuring security and public order. Another issue concerning community policing is the fact that the community should be informed about current problems. For example, it is much better when the police officer walks on the streets, communicates with the population, and controls disadvantaged areas. Intelligence-led policing. An intelligence-led policing is built on the evaluation of threats and management of risk. It is a strategic approach combining data collection, problem-solving, and community policing. Data collection and intelligence analysis are the two principal activities of this model. At that, it is essential to point out that improved intelligence analysis is not similar to crime analysis. Precisely speaking, intelligence is a formal procedure that aims at investigation, data collection, and turning it into knowledge while ensuring that the information is collected, stored, and disseminated appropriately. This helps police to adequately and timely react to occurring crime cases. In other words, the mentioned model also leads to a proactive approach to policing. Intelligence-led policing is a guarantee to prevent plenty of crime cases through the implementation of modern technology, in particular, cameras, motion sensors, and other devices. For example, the dispatcher installed in Chicago detected the criminal due to the camera. Moreover, this model helps to save a considerable amount of money and time compared to officers' costs. In the recent research conducted by Carter et al., it was stated that agencies that required personnel to receive intelligence-specific training were more likely to utilize intelligence for decision-making. It becomes evident from the above observations that intelligence-led policing is an effective and relevant tool contributing to crime prevention. Conclusion. In conclusion, it should be emphasized that modern policing is oriented not only towards crime prevention but also towards community interaction to achieve common goals. Therefore, the community policing model seems to be the most relevant. However, it goes without saying that both problem-oriented policing and intelligence-led policing models should be applied in the framework of modern requirements and rapidly changing challenges. Utilized simultaneously, these models would lead to the increased effectiveness of police performance. Furthermore, the selection of the most appropriate policing model might depend on a particular situation. If you want to find more works like this essay on the models of policing, head over to ivpanda.com. It has a collection of free samples with thousands of submissions covering virtually all academic subjects. No registration required to access it.